And good morning. Welcome to the Saturday weekend meeting. How's everybody doing this morning? Oh, look at that. Good morning, John. Nice to see you this morning. Glad you could stop by. And it's just been another beautiful day here. I'm not even sure what the temperature is outside. I know it was above freezing when I woke up this morning. Let's see. Right now it's showing it's about 20. Well, my phone says 27. I don't know why it's so far off of what the AccuWeather on my computer is just saying right now. My computer's saying it's 37 degrees, out, which makes more sense because it is pretty nice outside right now. It's beautiful sunshine. I took a little walk yesterday for the first time in months. I have a weighted vest to walk with, and I threw that on. I only have 20 pounds in it, so it's not like it's a whole lot in there. But I have that. I took a walk yesterday, about a mile, and it wasn't that long. But man, walking with a 20-pound vest on, the extra 20 pounds makes a big difference. Hey, good morning, Uncle Willie. How are you doing today? It's nice to see you here. Yeah, that taking a walk with a 20-pound weight vest, just a mile walk around the neighborhood here was, I could really tell the difference when I got back home, and I actually kept it on for probably another hour after I got home, and then I finally took it off, and I was like, "Holy crap! What a difference that makes you feel so much lighter when you take that thing off." It's, it's a big difference. But we have it's something I want to do more of. I want to get out there and I want to start walking. Maybe not daily, but trying to come up with a different way. I Last night for dinner, I didn't eat very much for dinner last night. I had just shrimp for dinner. I think it was 16 pieces of shrimp, and that's all I had. It was cooked in butter, so I kept the extra butter, and use that to dip the shrimp in. But I didn't make anything else to eat last night. I just didn't feel like eating. I did a 48-hour fast. I broke it early because it was too much stress on my body from not sleeping well. And no, well, can't really say that I wasn't sleeping well from not sleeping enough. You have to get proper sleep first of all before your body reacts well to anything, no matter what you do. And I wasn't doing it. Last week, starting like Friday night, a week ago Friday, we had a home hockey game Friday and Saturday night, so I wasn't getting home until late. Didn't go to bed until late, and then that continued all the way through last night, where I did not go to bed at my normal time. I was going to bed an hour, 2 hours later, and doing a quick fast like that, it just didn't work for me. Oh, Uncle Willie said that semi-retired Bob said he does 50 push-ups at a time and 50 squats at a time, holding 40 pounds. He's a beast. Yeah, that's if I put the rest of the weights back into that vest, it's a 40-pound vest. I don't know if I can do 10 push-ups with that on there. That's a lot of weight. John says a few days ago he did a 2 mile walk for the last 3 days. I haven't been able to walk. Says legs haven't really worked out that much this winter. The snow was too deep. Yeah, and it's a big difference walking here in North Dakota when you have snow, just like you, John. When you have snow and you have sub-zero temperatures, it's not really a nice thing to do to go outside and walk. All right, and good morning, Ann. How are you today? But I want to get out there and I want to walk more. Um, I'm not really one that wants to go out and do any running or anything like that. I've never liked running. It just doesn't work for me. So, but it would be just going out there and getting a walk in, 1 to 2 miles. I've been thinking about changing when I eat instead of eating in the evenings. Um, doing food prep and eating at lunchtime at work. That way, I have the rest of the day. In the evening, I don't have to worry about it. If I get home from work, I can go out and take the time to go for a walk before I have to go to bed. But I do know I need to get to bed like I should. Going to bed an hour to hour and a half late and then still waking up at the same time, it really has a negative effect on the body. And it affected, I was just going to do a short 72-hour fast and I only made it for 48 hours. But it's still better than not doing a fast at all for me. So I don't know. It's just one of those things that I had a hard time doing a fast, and it's generally not something that's hard for me to do. Once I get past that 24-hour mark, I generally have a pretty easy fast with going to up to 5 days. I don't have problems with it. This last fast, just after 48 hours, I just couldn't do anymore. And that's just not normal. And the only thing I could figure was a lack of sleep. Uh, it just, it really plays havoc on your body. So I can hear my granddaughter spend the night, and I can hear her in her room over here, and she's got her guitar out, just strumming one string at a time. I don't know if you guys could hear her or not. I hope not, but it's cute. So, what else is going on out there? Anybody have any non-scale victories going on, or anything that they would like to talk about today? I've just been sticking to my strange diet and hanging out, doing the things that I normally do. And good morning. And you can go into a timeout because that's not even funny. Uncle Willie said I failed the last several times you tried to fast. I'm just going to eat. Yeah, and sometimes you have to. And one of these days, you'll end up not having to worry about it, and it'll just happen, and you'll be good. Good morning, Kingston. How are you doing today? Yeah, I am. I'm doing really good. Who are you? I read how, so I guess I got that right. Hey, good morning, Bryce Biscuit. How you doing today? You spent some time with Rick and Amy and Christy. Yeah, I was out there too. I was on Rick's for a while, and I went over and watched Amy, and then I actually had Amy and Lions Danilor had one on each screen listening to him. Yeah, you meant to say how are you? Yeah, I got that right. Doing good. It was nice to see you here this morning. John says, as I became more in tune with my signals in my body now screams at me when I need something specific. It's great to be able to hear those signals again. Oh, absolutely. That's one of the things that it took me 16 months to get the leptin signal to tell me that I was full. I don't know when it broke, probably years and years ago. My ghrelin, the hunger signal, I never had issues with that because that always told me I was hungry eating a standard American diet. But in February, well, the end of January through the first few days of February, I did a 7-day fast. And when I did that, I finally got the leptin signal. When I went to refeed after that 7-day fast, my body finally told me that the meat doesn't taste good. You should stop. And I was like, wow. And it's been amazing. I mean, when you sit down to eat like this, an 18-ounce ribeye, 16 pieces of shrimp, I used to eat this here with no problem. I mean, I could sit down at any time and eat that, and never had an issue. What happened? I got the signal that told me that it didn't taste good anymore, so I stopped eating it, and this is what was left. I only ate half of the steak and I only ate half of the shrimp, and I was full. And my body told me that I was full, which was really pretty cool. It does take time sometimes. Sometimes it takes a long time for your body to heal. I ate the standard American diet for 57 years. And my body over time just started deteriorating and didn't do well. I gained a lot of weight. I'd lose weight, I'd gain weight, I'd yo-yo. I worked out, I did all kinds of workouts. I mean, hell, I did insanity for 4 years just about, just to end up having heart surgery because my heart went into AFib and it stayed there. I took medication that kind of helped it out, but after a couple of years, it stopped working and I ended up having to have heart surgery. Now my heart's great. I don't have issues with it. My blood pressure is great. I mean, it's amazing what eating a proper human diet will do for a person. Yeah, Who Are You is a good song that Who sang. Yeah. It's also the start for CSI. Love that show. You just released a video today about ghrelin and leptin. Awesome. I think I got the notification that you did release a video today. I have not looked at it yet, though, but I will. Uncle Willie says, I haven't had steak in months. Burger patties and ground beef is all you can afford. Yeah, and I found this steak here. Okay, it's a ribeye. Right now, going to the grocery store here and going to the meat counter, that ribeye is $23.99 a pound. Our local store had a sale on them for the rib roast for $9.99 a pound. So that was $10 a pound for that. So right there, I got $12 worth of food sitting on that cutting board. So not a whole lot of food, or not a whole lot of money on that, and it's delicious. I don't generally buy the rib roasts and strip loin roasts anymore unless they're on sale and they're really a lot cheaper that way. You can cut your own steaks. You can cut them as thick as you want or as thin as you want. I prefer to have mine cut a little bit thicker so that I can get a nice char on the outside and still keep it rare to raw on the inside. I don't do black and blue. That's too much for me right now still. But rare to raw is Not that bad. It's pretty good. Bridesmaid says that's great. Half that steak and shrimp is about what my signal tells me to eat after I healed. Yep. Before that, it was less. Well, and before I did that, um, this is what he was talking about. This is the steak that I had left over. And having that much steak and that much shrimp left over is really strange for me because I mean I could eat that at any time. It never got old for me. And but what do you do when you have leftover steak and shrimp? So this was Friday night. Saturday morning, I had steak and shrimp omelet. Didn't go to waste. Heck no. You got to use everything. It's absolutely delicious the second time around. Bridesmaid says, "I'll check out that. Check it out, John. Left and grilling signal is fascinating to me. How it varies in individuals and how it overlaps at times with addiction. Absolutely, and it's actually pretty cool when you get that signal after not having it for so long. And of course, I want steak. Who doesn't want a steak? But you know what? I also want this right here. This is one of the healthiest meals that you can get. It really is. That's just bacon, eggs, and ground beef. And it's called a power bowl because everything in there is actually extremely nutritious for your body. And it will help you so much when you're eating properly. Uh, Bridesmaid says I eat 12 ounces of hamburger a day lately as part of my protein. I've been craving it more lately. Crispy outside and juicy inside. Yeah, you gotta love it. And especially with this economy, you gotta find what works for you. And sometimes cheaper ground beef and all that stuff is actually really good. And welcome to the stream. What's wrong with bacon, man? Bacon is actually a superfood if you actually pay attention to what your body wants and what is going on. It is great. All right. What do you want? You want gas at a $3 minimum? Why would you want gas at a $3 minimum? I'd rather have it down in the two, one single, a dollar. 99-cent gas would be great again. There's no reason it can't be down there. Yeah, beef, butter, bacon, eggs combo is really a nutritional powerhouse. It covers all the bases on the proper human diet, PhD. Absolutely. Bacon looks like a steak that is crunchy and could be eaten. It actually is very. When we cook a lot of bacon, we cook it to a point where it's still flexible. Before I eat it like this here, I'll throw it back in the microwave to crisp it up so it crumbles. And once you make it so it crumbles, it goes in there. It just mixes in really well like that. And I also make bacon like that so I can make bacon and eggs. And let me show you a picture of that. I got a picture here. No, not that one. I have a picture showing the bacon and eggs that I eat. So this picture here is a picture of bacon and eggs. I broke a 97-hour fast with this year. So it's crispy bacon. And I don't eat breads. I don't eat toast, anything like that. So what do you dip into a runny egg? Bacon. You can scoop up the yolk with the bacon if you crisp it so that it's crispy like that. And it's absolutely delicious. Bryce out says I was stressed in the beginning about eating enough steak, but ground beef 80/20 is the same and sometimes superior nutrition for a fraction of the cost. It is. Carnivore does not have to be an expensive way of eating. You can get by on eating a or cleaner version of a hot dog or a sausage, ground beef, ground pork, pork steaks, pork shoulder. I mean, this is what I did over there. Well, two of my granddaughters are in cheer, um, and they had their end of year celebration the other day, and my daughter wanted to bring a wanted to bring pork, pulled pork. Well, her husband was out of town at work, and so he asked me if I'd throw it on my smoker and smoke it. So she picked up a 8 pound pork shoulder. I seasoned it, threw it in my smoker, and let it sit overnight. This was, I don't know, it was only like $9 or $10 for this here. It doesn't cost a whole lot for a pork shoulder, and it's amazing when it's cooked. When I probe that in the morning, I cook it overnight while I'm sleeping. It's simple. When I do that, 10 hours later, you go to put that probe through it, and that you don't even feel the meat in there anymore. The probe just goes in and out. That thing shredded so nice, and it was so good. It's inexpensive. You don't spend a lot of money buying stuff like that and making stuff like that. It's just amazing. John says I like doing hamburgers, always tender, no guessing. Even if the even if you butcher a cow around here, mostly turn into hamburger. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with ground beef. You can pick up oh my goodness, why did that just a chuck roll, and you can cube a whole chuck roll and make ground chuck. And if you can find a chuck roll, I mean, there are times you can find them at like Costco or Sam's Club for under $5 a pound. Then you're getting your ground beef for under $5 a pound, and you're getting a very healthy version of it because you're doing it yourself. Bryce says, be right back, throwing bacon in the air fryer right now. Right on. That's what I'm talking about. Can we agree that bacon and eggs are best with syrup? No. Uh, there's no need for syrup. That's the diet that I'm on, that I use. I don't have any carbohydrates. The only carbohydrates I have are the zero point 0.6 gram of carbohydrate per egg I eat. Other than that, I don't have carbohydrates. There's no need for them. Your body will make any sugar that your brain or your muscles need. You don't have to use anything like that. It's not needed. Your spreadsheet from last year, where I healed the most, showed my food cost was $6.60 a day, less than $200 a month. Carnivore does not have to be expensive. Absolutely, it is actually uh, one of the best diets that you can have. I spend so much less money on food because I don't buy food that I end up putting in my fridge and throwing away because it rots later. The meat that I buy does not rot. It just doesn't because you eat it too much. What's up, Spencer Bob? Ghost Rider subscribing and liking right now. Hey, appreciate it. I do these Saturday and Sunday mornings at the same time. Yeah, Spencer, we see you. Yeah, Ghost Rider says, yeah, we see you, brother. What's going on? How am I? I am doing great. Want to see why I'm doing great? Check this out. 2 years ago, this was me, about 350 pounds, 347 pounds is the highest weight I ever saw on a scale. This was me 2 years ago. At this point, I was on 5 different blood pressure medications every day to get my blood pressure under control. In July, which is where I'm at here on the scooter, I started seeing videos from a guy named Carnivore Ray talking about how he had healed his body, lost a lot of weight, and became healthy again on a carnivore diet. And that got me intrigued into checking it out. I watched more of his videos on YouTube. I watched about all of them actually. Everything he had on YouTube, I watched. And then I started searching for him, and I found Dr. Ken Berry. If you have questions about the carnivore diet, Dr. Ken Berry's YouTube channel, he's got videos that explain just about anything that's going wrong with you and how a carnivore diet, low carb, ketogenic diet can help heal your body. It's amazing what happens. Well, I went from that to something like this. Before and after, this was me with that big round basketball belly there. And that was over 60 inches around my belly. I couldn't get the tailor's tape around my stomach when I first started this diet. And this picture with me with Body by Bacon is, what would that be, about 9 months ago? In this picture, I was 224 pounds. I went from 335 when I started the carnivore diet, 347 at my heaviest weight, to 224 within a year. My lowest weight now is 205, and I was at that not that long ago. And John says, after years of reconditioning my old habits, I really like tasting food in its natural form. It has its own sweetness. It does. Yeah, it's a big difference, Ghost Rider. And it's amazing what happens when you start doing this. So I was taking 5 blood pressure medications 6 weeks into the carnivore diet with the help of my doctor. I came off of all 6 of those. The last 2 blood pressure medications were maximum doses, and I stopped doing those with the help of my doctor. And within 6 weeks of starting the carnivore diet, that's why I did the carnivore diet, was to help my body heal and help my blood pressure, because my blood pressure, even on 5 medications, my blood pressure was high. It wasn't working. And I kept gaining weight. Man, I had to glow up. Ghost Rider, I don't work out. My workout is basically just eating properly. I worked out. I do have a weight set sitting over here in my office, just on the other side of my desk. But I have a Blackstone electric grill sitting on the weight bench. I've got my weight vest sitting on top of the free weights, and I really don't use it. I have a walking pad here. I've walked maybe a dozen times in the last year on it. I just don't. I don't like working out, and I did it for enough years with insanity. I just don't care to do it. But it's a lot of fun when you can eat properly. You can eat foods you really like bacon, eggs, steak, shrimp, salmon, ground beef, hamburger patties. You can eat those foods in the high fat versions of them, not the lean beef, not the fat trimmed off of everything, but the 80/20, the 73/27 ground beef is absolutely amazing. Throw butter onto everything and eat. It's amazing what it does for your body. And that's just raw element, electrolyte in my water. Because that's the one thing that your body does need when you stop having the carbohydrates. There's the reason why it's called a carbohydrate because it does help your body retain water. Once you stop eating the carbohydrates, the excess water that your body has gets flushed out. And when it flushes out, it takes your electrolytes with it. So you do have to replenish it. And some people can go days without adding an electrolyte. Some people can't. But you have to be able to replenish them. And I found that the Element Raw for me is the best way to do it. I also I like Redmond's salt, and I have a bunch of Redmond salt. I get the container, the little tub, but I keep this in my pocket. I always have this. So if I feel like I need it, I can always put some on my tongue. I can always have some like that. Really? Well, thanks. So kind of you. I don't care. I choose to be bald. You can see I got hair growing back in here. I feel like a hippie right now because my hair is long. I shaved my head for the last ooh, 25 years or more. And when I was in my 30s, I got tired of looking at the gray hair in my head, so I shaved my head. And I've kept it this way for a long time. And Brian Biscuit says, I stopped using electrolytes as your low activity. But in the beginning, electrolytes were essential during adaptation and card flushing. Cramps are an issue then too. Yeah, and see, I still end up having cramps at times, and that's why I still do my electrolytes, especially when I do a fast. I have at least one electrolyte a day if I'm doing a 72-hour fast. If I go beyond 72, then I'll end up having two electrolytes a day just to keep my body from having any issues. But yeah, it's the electrolytes when you first start doing this type of diet makes a huge difference. You really have to have your electrolytes. You will cramp, you will have issues if you don't have enough salt in your diet. Just listening to everything that we've been told through all the years about what's good for our bodies, if you listen to them, you're unhealthy. There's very few people who can eat what is considered a standard American diet and stay healthy while eating that diet. Cholesterol, which we've all been told is bad for us, turns out it's not. And they actually stopped recommending uh, avoiding the dietary cholesterol years ago. But guess what? Nobody talks about it. Salt is another thing. Salt is good for your body. You have to have salt. It's an electrolyte. Every cell in your body requires an electrolyte to communicate. And guess what they're doing? They're trying to make us sick by getting rid of our cholesterol, which your body needs for so many things. And they get rid of the salt, which communicates. Yeah. That whole diet was meant to keep us sick and to keep us dependent on medical and drugs. Cosmic Gesture, good morning. So, do you even know if your some or any of your gray hair has disappeared since switching to this way of eating? Um, yeah, this winter I did grow my beard, and it wasn't as gray as it was the previous winter. And there were some patches that were the color was returning. For my hair, I don't know. My beard didn't go gray until a couple years ago, where my hair turned gray decades ago. So I've never really grown it out. Once I get to this point here, it starts to drive me nuts, and I have to shave it off. So it doesn't matter. I just kind of like having it a nice shaved head. So, but I've never really checked. Bridesmaids still have bags of magnesium, potassium, and of course salt. You do mix up batches to use during the water fast. Yeah, and you can making proper electrolytes is not that difficult. The hard part about it is getting the right magnesium. As I used to use, I tried doing it with the magnesium I was taking prior to starting this diet because I have extras that I don't take anymore, and that's the magnesium glycinate. Open up the capsules and I, weighed. I weighed everything out. Just the Element LMNT website. They give you the proper portions to make the uh, raw drink, and man, what a difference that makes when you can do that. But the magnesium glycinate is not a good tasting magnesium when in its raw form. So I would not recommend using the glycinate. Yeah, the magnesium citrate, no issue with digestion or and mileage for kidney stones in your research. Yeah, and I think that's what the element uses is a citrate, but I didn't have any in the house, so I made up a batch of it and I tried drinking two of them, and there's absolutely no way I could finish that second time I tried it. It was just the glycinate does not have a good taste to it. Now, mixing with the regular sodium salt and then the oh my goodness, the potassium, which the potassium you can get is no salt. It's still a salt. It's just not made from sodium. It's potassium. It's the same. It just has a little different effect on the body, but it's an electrolyte. And getting them in the proper amounts is crucial when you first start doing this way of eating. A lot of it has to do with the way your body flushes the system out. Carbohydrates, when you stop eating them, your body flushes all the excess water from your body. And that takes all of your electrolytes. You have to replenish them. Even just like fasting, your body will use uh, your fat cells as hydration also. So you can go days without drinking water. Your body will use your fat cells as hydration. I have not tried a dry fast yet. That might be coming up. That might be the next thing I try as far as a different fast is a dry fast. 24 hours of a dry fast is supposed to be like 3 days of a water fast for health benefits and for stuff like that. So maybe I'll try a 36-hour fast on that. I don't know if I could do it. That'd be very difficult. I'd have to do it on a weekend. I wouldn't be able to do it at work because I'd probably be a little too crabby with people. That's one thing that's once you get used to drinking like the element raw, it's you get used to that taste and you get used to the salt in it. And it actually tastes really good. When your body has enough salt in it, it starts to taste saltier. When you're low on the salt and you're drinking uh, electrolyte, you hardly even notice that it's there. It tastes just like water, which is really good. And Uncle Willie says Coach Simon calls magnesium citrate magnesium citrate. Yeah, that's funny. Uh, and Cosmic Gesture says if if I'm going to do a longer fast, I like to try to do the first day or more dry fast if possible. See, and that's actually not a bad idea. I might try that the next time I do a fast. And I'm actually thinking I'd have to do it on Tuesday then. I have a work function to do Monday night. So after that, I could start a fast and see what's going on there. Maybe I'll start my dry fast Monday night, go through Tuesday, and that might be a good idea, Jester. That's a good thought. Thank you. Cal, good morning. How are you today? It's nice seeing you here. Appreciate you stopping by. I don't know, wasn't Larry doing his live this morning at this time? So I appreciate seeing William Bride's Biscuit and John in here this morning. Jester, Kel. So we last Monday night, I don't know if you guys see him in the comments, but was it Lions Carnivore podcast? His name's Dan. He has Jets Afterburners podcast also. On Thursday night, he did a live broadcast with some veterans, some friends that he has, and that was actually pretty cool. I joined I went to watch it and watch it live, and I'm a veteran, and I just put on there that I'm a DD 214 alumni, and I was 95 Bravo 20 Victor 5, which means I was military police, I was an NCO, and I was an investigator. So the 95 Bravo 20 is the MOS that I was. 95 Bravo is military police. 20 is your basically your rank. From E1 to E4, it'd be 10. E5 is 20. E6 is 30, and so on. So, and then the Victor 5 is a identifier that says I have extra training and I was an investigator. So I joined that, and when I was chatting with him in the comments, Dan threw the link out there and asked me to join him, and it was actually pretty nice talking to these guys. There's some pretty good guys that he has that are friends. I would encourage anybody that's in here, if you haven't seen it, check out Dan's channel. He's got a good channel. He's had a lot of healing, and he's got some good information that he puts out there. It's the same with a lot of these people. You see a lot of people that are in the comments that are talking. A lot of them have channels that I didn't know some people had channels. I was actually watching a couple of them this morning of the regular lives that I normally do, and I just started searching people in there to see who all had channels, and I found a bunch of people had channels that I hadn't been following. So I've got like another 10 or 15 people I get to follow. Do a backflip. How's that? I did a double backflip. Did 50 push-ups this morning. Haven't done that since before your stroke 2.5 years ago. Well, that's awesome. I still don't know if I could do 50 push-ups. I probably could. I know I've done that at work. Well, when I was heavier, over 300 pounds, I did that at work where I would challenge some of the guys at work to do push-ups. And some of these younger guys, oh yeah, because it's a pretty big guy. I can do more push-ups than you, so we drop down and we do push-ups. I never lost any of them young guys. They do 10 or 15, and that was all they could do, and I could do 20, 25 easily, and they just couldn't do it. They couldn't believe it. An old fat guy like me could do more push-ups than them. But that's one of the things that we like to have fun at work, and the guys that I work with, I like to be able to joke around with them when we can, and when it's not time to joke around, they need to understand that when that happens, and we let them know, and not in a rude way or a crude way. We're just honest with them. So now, oh, this is me. 2 years ago in March. That's actually where this cup came from. We went to this game. My jersey I'm wearing there, this is a 3XL, and you can see around the belly area where the night is, just below. It's tight. I was a big guy, and I was probably 345, maybe 350 in this picture, and I was not healthy. Um, it's just was not the best thing for me. It wasn't the best thing for my wife for me to be like that. Now, last month in February, I spent some time visiting my mom in the hospital. She had surgery, so she was there for a week recovering. We were getting ready to go to a hockey game in town, and this is me. That's with a large jersey, and you can see that it's loose on me. It's nowhere even close to being tight anywhere. And this is just a month ago. And I did this by eating meals like that. These are some of the best meals that you can get out there. Just bacon and eggs and ground beef. It's amazing how eating properly can change how you look. Bacon and eggs. It's amazing having bacon and eggs like this. You can go from this big fat guy to this picture on the right, or what you see now, and it doesn't take that long. Well, I appreciate that, Kelly. Yeah, it's oh, I do. I haven't felt this good that I can ever remember. I spent years, well, spent 8.5 years in the military. As a, I went in the military when I was a teenager. I came out in my mid 20s, well, upper 20s, and I haven't felt better now at 59 at any time in my life. Even when I was a teenager, I don't remember feeling this good. I wake up in the morning and I don't have pain. I used to. I used to take me about 10 minutes just to get out of bed every morning because I was always in pain. I had pain in my feet, my hips, my knees, my shoulders, my neck. I'd have to, sit there and massage my feet and my my shoulders before I even got out of bed because I hurt everywhere. Now, my alarm goes off, I get up and I'm moving. I don't have any more issues. I wake up pain free for the first time in my life. Uh, Uncle Willie says, I wish I could eat eggs again, but your body doesn't tolerate them. So you're one of the people that has the histamine issues with the eggs. Is that you? That sucks because I like eggs. But yeah, there are times like I haven't. When I first started eating the carnivore diet, I ate a lot of eggs. I had bacon and eggs just about every morning, and it was anywhere between 8 eggs and a dozen eggs every morning, and probably a pound of bacon every morning. And it, I don't know, it was probably just a couple of weeks, not even that, before I went to two mad, 2 meals a day. And so I'd eat a pound of bacon and a dozen eggs in the morning, and at night I'd eat a pound of ground beef or whatever, and hamburger patties. But it'd be about a pound, and then a half dozen or a dozen shrimp or 16 shrimp every meal. When I would eat something different, I'd have a New York strip steak and salmon as a meal. You can eat a pound of salmon and it's only like 350 calories or something like that. It's crazy, very few calories, but it's got a good amount of protein. And for a fish, it's a fattier fish. So it's something that's actually really good. But I used to eat a lot of eggs when I first started. Now I don't eat them so much. I I crave more of the ground beef than I do the eggs. Eggs cause severe lower back pain. Okay. See, and that's why this past, I don't know, 4 or 5 days now, I've been limiting my coffee to 1 cup a day at work. This morning I had two. I have issues with coffee. Um, there's a pain that I get in my left heel of my foot, and I've narrowed that down to coffee. The coffee that I really liked was the Black Rifle coffee. If I have 1 cup of that, I am in pain. My foot hurts. I have a hard time walking on it. The other day, like I think it was Monday, I started getting pain in my foot again. And I'm like, that's weird. So I stopped drinking coffee. Tuesday, I didn't have coffee. And by Wednesday, the pain was gone. And I was just drinking 1 cup of coffee now instead of drinking, 4 or 5 cups of coffee. But I understand that, yeah. Once you eliminate stuff from your diet, you can find out what's causing the pain in your body. It's one of the best things that the carnivore diet does. It's an elimination diet. Even if you don't plan on staying on this diet, you can eliminate everything. Just eat a carnivore diet, beef, butter, bacon, eggs for 30 days. Or if you want to go strict, do a lion diet, just beef and salt. Do that for 30 days. And then you can introduce things one at a time, one at a time every few days to see how your body reacts. And you will know pretty quickly what causes your body issues. It's amazing how fast your body can tell you that, yeah, I don't like that. And Jester says a longer fast or two can sometimes help resist histamine intolerances. Yeah. And there are reset points within the fast that we do. So there's resets at 24 hours, 48, 72. Like every 24 hours into a fast, something different happens to your body. And, just doing short fast through the winter, like up to 48 hours, can help reset your immune system so that you don't get sick. And I think that's actually one of the things that happened with me this winter is I was doing alternate day fasting, and then I was doing an alternate day fast. So I was going 36 hours on my alternate day fasting, and then I was doing 60 hours on the double alternate day fast. And I kept resetting my immune system. It's been well over a year now since I've had a cold, since I've had to take any cold medicines. Now my allergies this spring have sprung back up. And now that we're talking about eggs, I went for a couple of months without eating any eggs, and I just started eating eggs again. And now I seem to be having issues with my allergies again. So maybe it is eggs that's causing me issues again. There's one way to find out, and that's to eliminate eggs. We'll find out. Yeah, at least I could recognize coffee was the issue. And then, that's not the only thing I've had issues with either. I like to make the flatbread, cottage cheese, and an egg, and you blend it till smooth, bake it. You can make a wrap out of it. I made tacos from that, so I could have tacos. And we had a taco seasoning we picked up at our local grocery store. I didn't have any issues with the seasonings in it. And it tastes really good. I had that a couple times like that, and then we were at Costco and found a larger container of taco seasoning, and it's basically the same ingredients. So we bought that, and the first time I had that taco seasoning, the next morning I woke up and I felt like I had been run over by a bus. The only thing that I had different the night before that I haven't had was that taco seasoning. And the second time I tried it, same thing. So now I don't use that taco seasoning anymore. We got a big container, but I actually think my wife might have given it away. Uncle Willie says he did a 16-day water fast in October. Maybe it wasn't long enough. It's possible. You never know. There's so many different things that go on. Like, listening to Larry with his tinnitus went away after his 21-day water fast. I got my leptin signaling back after a 7-day water fast. My immunity has been reset over and over doing 24 to 48 hour fast. So yeah, each time you do a fast, there's something different that goes on with it. And I like to do an extended longer fast at least once a month just to do it to see what comes out of it, because sometimes some great effects. Now, the one issue I do have living up here in North Dakota is when you fast, the body gets cold. And I've had issues with my extended fast with being cold. John says the process is like an onion. The more you peel it, the more layers you find, right? What works now won't work a year from now. And you trust your body, and you have to trust the body, and you have to listen to what your body's telling you. That's one of the biggest things, is knowing when to listen to your body and what your body's telling you. Jester says, I'm taking a break from coffee right now. I'm beginning to think it was just a heavy cream delivery system anyways. Yeah, but you're still going to have some heavy cream. I've had heavy cream. Well, the only time I have heavy cream, I've never used it in coffee. I make ice cream, and I had some last night. So Dr. Kilt's ice cream is actually the recipe that my wife and I use, and it's really simple. Use a pint of heavy whipping cream for the ice cream maker that we have. A pint of heavy whipping cream, 1 egg. I use cinnamon to taste. We use allulose, and it's 2 teaspoons of allulose. And then just the last couple of days, I've tried the keto bricks. Their fudge is a carnivore friendly brick, but I shave off like a 16th of an inch piece of it and then chop it up. I'll shave off 2 of them, chop it up, and I'll throw it in there. So it's like a chocolate chip ice cream. Oh my goodness, is that good? Charger Mopar Rick. Good morning, Rick. The chat has gone off the rails. Yep. We're unwrapping onions in this one right now. Talking about fasting, coffee, and the weird things that happen when you do this kind of stuff. Jester says, I just whipped up some unsweetened heavy cream into whipping cream and eat that once it freezes. That's not a bad idea. I've never thought about doing that. So I really want to get back up to our local farmer up here that has a dairy and we can get raw dairy from. I haven't seen it for a while, and in the two places in town where we can get it, they just haven't been putting it out. But I was thinking about going out to their farm and seeing if we can pick some up there. When I make the ice cream from the raw heavy cream and milk, so a cup of raw heavy cream and a cup of milk, mix that together, and then add the cinnamon and the eggs to it. It has a completely different texture and completely different flavor. It is so good. And even the heavy cream that we're using now, I will get somewhat of a reaction on my CGM. So will my wife. Not much. And no, it's not from the allulose because I've made it both ways with and without it. It's just the heavy cream does have a glycemic effect on us. But when we use the raw heavy cream, I haven't had any issues with that. It's got a much better flavor, much better taste. Uncle Willie says he had to quit heavy cream, too addictive for you. Yeah, it can be. The heavy creams they're very addicting, and I don't know if it's the I know the cheese has what they call casomorphines. I don't know if the heavy cream has that too, but it has the milk sugars in it, so it is an addiction, and it can cause issues with some people. Well, it's been an hour. My wife has got stuff for me to do this morning, so I am going to call it a day today. I appreciate y'all stopping in and hanging out and chatting. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. We'll see you guys back then. Have a great day, and hey, remember to eat meat, be happy. Yep, right there. Eat meat, be happy, stay carnivore.